Hello and welcome my dear students, third prep second term. ونطق كلمات lessons 1 and 2 from unit 10. وتأتي unit 10 under the title To Space and Back. To Space and Back. إلى الفضاء والعودة. What are the objectives؟ أهدافنا في هذه اليونت أن نتعرف على تكنولوجيا الأقمار الصناعية Satellite Technology. أيضا أن نقرأ ونستمع إلى تاريخ استكشاف الفضاء Space Exploration. Let's start. محطة فضائية Space Station. Telescope. الجاذبية الأرضية Gravity. يدور حوله أو مسار orbit. وإذا مشت verb يبقى الماضي orbited. باحث أو دارس researcher. يفيض أو يغمر بالمياه أو فيضان flood والماضي flooded. عدسة عدسات lenses الاس هنا lenses. نظام شمسي solar system. مركبة فضاء spacecraft. عالم فلكي astronomer. معي satellite. تسلسل زمني timeline. حدث أو مناسبة هامة event. Mars. رائد فضاء astronaut. مدينة دبي. يعد أو يجهز prepare والماضي prepared. حل solution. اليو يعتبر هنا بالضم solution. طائرة نفاثة jet. آلة machine. قوة force. يجذب attract وإذا كانت verb attracted. يتقاعد retire والماضي retired. أمريكي الجنسية American. ينظم organized. اختبار قصير quiz. مسابقة competition. محاضر lecturer. الفضاء space. يتخرج من جامعة أو من معهد graduate. مدرس مساعد teaching assistant. دولة فنلندا Finland. معدات equipment. إسلامي Islamic. يكتشف discover والماضي discovered. حفلة عائلية family party. موت أو وفاة death. اكتشاف discovery. ينشر publish والماضي published. عصر age. يخترع invented. مخترع inventor. كاتب أو مؤلف author. حي alive. كوكب planet. يعتقد أو يؤمن believed. دائري أو مستدير round. قرن من الزمان 100 عام century. التيو هنا century. كمية amount, conjugation of irregular verbs. يختار, choose, chose, chosen. يصبح, become, became, become. يفكر أو يعتقد, think, thought, thought. يكنس, sweep, swept, swept. يسمع, hear, heard, heard. Astronaut, a person who travels into space. Astronomer, a person who studies the stars and the planets. Gravity, a force which attracts things or people to the center of the earth. Satellite, a machine in space that goes around the earth to send or collect information. Researcher, a person who studies something carefully. Space station, a large spacecraft where people live and work. Or a large satellite going around the earth where astronauts can live and work to study space. A piece of equipment you use to see things that are far away. Lens, a piece of glass used in cameras or on glasses that can make things look bigger or smaller. Orbit, to move around a star or planet. Solar system, all the planets and their moons which go around the sun. Collocations, يحدد موعد معين, give a specific time. يستقل سيارة أجرة, take a taxi. يأتي في المركز الثاني, come second. Come second. يكتشف, make a discovery. Make a discovery. ينضم إلى المسابقة, enter a competition. Enter a competition. يقيم منافسة أو مسابقة, start a competition. Start a competition. يقضي عطلة, have a weekend. Have a weekend. 1957, the first satellite, Sputnik 1. 1961, the first man in space, Yuri Gagarin. 1963, the first woman in space, Valentina Tereshkova. 9. Neil Armstrong becomes the first astronaut to walk on the moon. 1990, the world's first space station, Mir, goes into space. 1990, the first telescope is sent into space. 1998, the International Space Station. 2001, a new Egyptian satellite. Prize-winning Egyptian helps NASA. Prize-winning Egyptian helps NASA. For many years, NASA has been trying to understand what it can do with the rubbish that space journeys produce. Scientists have been looking for ways to solve the problem of rubbish. Astronauts use a lot of plastic, paper, and other waste on their journeys to space. This can be a real problem. So NASA started a competition asking the world's best scientists to try and find a solution. Ayman Ragab is an Egyptian scientist who has always been interested in space science. In 2019, he entered NASA's competition and became second. Ayman suggested using jets of air to make the waste smaller and then help to recycle it. Ayman is from the village of Dababia near Luxor and graduated in engineering from Aswan University. He has worked as a teaching assistant at the same university and now works as a researcher for a university in Finland. Since he won his prize, he has worked on NASA's technology transfer project, which looks at how to use the latest technology in space and he has recently found ways to save energy when there is little gravity. June 2018. Today, the famous American astronaut Peggy Annette Watson has just said that she is going to retire. More than 500 people have been to space, but Peggy has spent longer in space than any other woman. She has been traveling to space every few years since 2002, as well as being an astronaut. Peggy has been working as a researcher, a university lecturer, and on the International Space Station. Our newspaper has been writing about her work for more than 15 years, and we wish her luck for the future. Space, past and present. The first astronomers, the stars and the planets have always been important to us. In ancient times, people knew what time of year it was by looking at where the stars were in the sky. The ancient Egyptians discovered that a star called Sirius appeared in the sky just before the Nile flooded. Early ideas about the sun and the earth. An astronomer from the 2nd century called Ptolemy believed that the sun orbited the earth. It was a popular idea that people believed for many centuries. Islamic astronomers in the 11th until 13th centuries thought that the idea might be wrong. A new idea. In 1532, the astronomer Nicolaus Copernicus showed that the earth orbited the sun, but he hadn't published his ideas until just before he died. Copernicus hadn't wanted people to know about his ideas while he was alive. Because he knew that they would be unpopular. The first telescopes. Before the beginning of the 17th century, astronomers had only studied space with their own eyes. Then in 1608, the telescope was invented. The Italian astronomer Galileo improved the design. He made the lenses stronger so that he could study the planets in our solar system. Modern discoveries. The modern age is an exciting time for space discovery. We can see objects that are far away in space and look for life on other planets. What discoveries do you think we will make in the future? Listening. Rami is talking to Kamal. Rami, what are you looking at, Kamal? Kamal, hi Rami, it's a quiz about space's history. Some of the answers to the questions are very surprising. I scored 2 out of 4. Would you like to try? Rami, okay, ask me the first question. Kamal, when did people first discover the planets in our solar system? About 2000 years ago or about 400 years ago? Rami, I don't think astronomers had discovered the planets before the telescope was invented. So I think the answer is B, about 400 years ago. Kamal, wrong. Astronomers had discovered them a long time before that. People from an ancient place in the Middle East called Babylonia discovered the planets in the 1st and 2nd century. They saw that the planets moved differently from the stars in the sky, so they knew that they were different. Rami, wow, that was a long time ago. Kamal, yes, it was. Second question. When did people discover that the earth was round? A. In the 6th century or B. In the 15th century? Rami, oh, I know people believed that the earth was flat for a long time. So I'll choose answer B. In the 15th century. People had discovered the earth was round a long time before the 15th century. Greek scientists in the 6th century saw that the sky looked different from different places. This made them think that the planet was round. Rami, oh dear, I'm not doing very well. Kamal, don't worry. Here is the third question. Who invented the telescope? A. Galileo or B. Hans Lippershey? Rami, well, Galileo improved the design of the telescope, but he didn't invent it. So the answer is B. Hans Lippershey. Kamal, that's right. Hans Lippershey lived in the Netherlands in the 16th century. He wasn't an astronomer. He made glasses. He discovered that he could use more than one lens to make objects look bigger. So Galileo didn't invent the telescope, but he was the first person to use it to study space. Question 4. How many people had walked on the moon by the end of the 20th century? 20th century. A. 2 or B. 12? Rami, I'm sure it's more than 2, so I think B is the right answer. 12 people. Kamal, that's right. 12 people had walked on the moon by the end of the 20th century. No more people have walked on the moon this century, so the number is still the same. Rami, so I got 2 out of 4. The same as you. That was really interesting, Rami. I think I learned a lot. Video script. If you look up to the sky during the day, you can see clouds and the sun. At night, you can see the moon, some planets, and hundreds of thousands of stars. The sun is a star, and all the planets in our solar system move around it. It takes our planet Earth 365 days to orbit the sun. Other things about our solar system because of the work of Islamic astronomers more than 1,000 years ago. In the 10th century, an astronomer from Iran called Abdul Rahman as-Sufi wrote a very important book about the solar system called the Book of Fixed Stars. This described the exact position of the stars in the night sky at different times of the year. And it also included drawings and descriptions of different groups of stars called the group of stars in constellation came from a picture in the sky such as a Great Bear and Orion. Nobody had described them so accurately before as-Sufi did. A very large group of stars is called the galaxy. Earth is in a galaxy called the Milky Way. Abdul Rahman as-Sufi wrote about other galaxies, such as the large Magellanic Cloud and the Andromeda Galaxy, before many other people had even seen them. An Egyptian astronomer called Ibn Yunus studied how planets moved in the solar system in the 11th century. Later, an important European astronomer called Copernicus used these studies to suggest that planets moved around the sun. Before this, some people had thought that the sun moved around Earth. Today, astronomers are still discovering new things about stars, planets, and galaxies. What do you think they will discover in the future? And the prepositions بالإضافة إلى as well as يحلم به dream of يدور حول go around يسافر في الفضاء go into space يعد لي prepare for بعيونهم المجردة with their own eyes إحدى المعدات a piece of equipment من خلال النظر فيه by looking at قبل انتهاء by the end of يتعلم الكثير عن learn more about الفائز بجائزة prize winning يدور حول الشمس orbit the sun في القرن الخامس عشر in the 15th century لديه الكثير للقيام به have a lot to do مركز الأرض the center of the earth يسمح بالدخول let in على كوكب المريخ on Mars يمشي على سطح القمر walk on the moon يدرس الفضاء study space في العصور القديمة in ancient times قبل أو قبيل just before من الماضي from the past على الكواكب الأخرى on other planets. Thanks a lot.